Hey, fight fans, welcome back to Carlo Prusa MMA. Today I'm with a reoccurring guest. He is Mr. 843 Breezy. He is Mr. Brandon Holmes. He had some big news last week. Getting ready, fighting now. Week 2, Dana White Contender Series. He's taking on Cam Rowston. Last time we were talking about your fighting in Fury. Well, that didn't work out. You got the call up to the Dana White Contender Series. Man, how's the last week been for you? I know you've already been to Vegas. You've done the media stuff. You're back in Colombia now. What's this whole week been like?
I mean, it's been amazing. I'll say that. It's starting off with gratitude for sure. I'm very thankful for it, even for the roller coaster of emotions that it's been cool, bro. Just even going out to fly out to Vegas, and me and my coach was joking, but it's like so true. They give you a taste of this, and I just feel like it's so you turn up even more on the Contender Series. It's like, okay, you see what you can have access to. You see what this PI is really about. It's like, oh, this is sick, you know.
Absolutely, man. So, before you're getting ready to fight your Bina over on Fury, what was it like when you got that phone call, man? Were you expecting it? Were you kind of surprised that plans were going to change and you were going to find the Contender?
I was. I knew something was up because I was, I talk back and forth between whether it be Chris or Lamont, and Lamont had called me. Mind you, it's 9:54 at night. I just left training, literally just pulled into my apartment, and I get a call from him. I'm like, oh snap, you been training? Yes, sir. You been training hard? Yes, sir. UFC just called. Hold up, I was like, what? So it was just, you feel it. It's a mix of no way he just said that and finally. You know what I'm saying? So it was just real cool to get that phone call at night. Went there and talked to my wife about it, man, and just on the phone with them back and forth trying to figure out, finalize the details. It was cool.
Absolutely. We talked about before the sacrifice that it takes to be a professional fighter. You're not making millions of dollars on the regional scene. You're waking up early, you're staying up late, man. A lot of guys have to have the whole 9 to 5 job thing. You can miss birthdays, weddings, Thanksgivings, dinners. Your whole life has been dedicated to maybe making it to the UFC, maybe making it to the opportunity to be on the Contender, to fight to be in the UFC.
Hmm.
Well, you're on that door. You're knocking right on it. You have that opportunity to find the Dana White Contender Series. Hearing this news, seeing the progress, to you, does that make all these sacrifices worth it?
Yeah, man. I mean, so kind of like we talked about beforehand, those sacrifices are very real. And one time somebody was talking to me about it, just like, I cross trained at Jim O, man. Shout out Tribe, love them guys. It's one of the best rooms you could ever be in. And someone was talking to me about all the driving I do, and they were like, "Yeah, man, that's got to be a lot." And I was like, "But I know where I'm going." I feel like when you don't know where you're going or where you don't fully believe you're gonna get there, yes, a lot of driving. But when you fully believe and when you realize the steps you've been taking, and you know what I'm saying, I've been seeing the fruits of my labor. I've been getting my hand raised. I've been, my last one was a war. I came out on top. I had some, I ended them quickly. So I see the fruit. I know where I'm going. Yeah, sacrifices, but it's worth it. And I know it will be, and it is now.
How much fun have you had on this journey?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've had a lot of fun. A lot of fun for every sacrifice, man. Just see the inside jokes in the gym, the people that you realize like really care about you. Just what I'm saying, the after training sessions, you going to the Mexican restaurant, and you just creating memories there, even outside of fighting. It's been amazing. I've met some incredible people. I've built relationships with people in the gym that have extended beyond that. You know what I'm saying? Now our wives talk, what I'm saying? I consider these people I was gonna say friends, but not like these real deal. My brothers, man, like they got my back like that, and that's just how it is. And I really appreciate it. It's been lots of fun.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun to watch you fight, man. I mean, you're a very
Mhm.
entertaining 185er. One thing I love about you, man, you go out there, every contest I've seen of you, you go for the finish. I mean, you have crazy power. You have good takedown defense. You like to apply pressure. You like to go forward. You like to try to finish the fight. Is that something you take a lot of pride in?
Yeah, for sure. When you look at my style, you know it's gonna be a fight. It leans more towards that side than it does the competition side. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get ahead. I'm trying to get your head. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I take pride in it. I feel like I mean, regardless, I feel like I give the people what they want, but I give myself what I want. I put myself in there, and that's what I go to challenge myself for. So I take pride in it.
Absolutely. So you're taking on Cam Rowston here, a guy that was on the Dana White Contender Series last year. Couldn't get it done against Torres Finney, but he got the call back. Overall, what do you think of him as an opponent?
Shoot, bro. Overall, much respect to Cam. I already know how he coming. No one goes in there to lose once, let alone twice. So I know he coming in hungry. I know he coming in ready to prove who he is and everything he about. I think he's gonna be a great opponent, and I have to respect him for who he is as well as his experience. It's cool, you know what I'm saying? I feel like every step of the way, I've been like taking bigger challenges, and this one is going to definitely be that. He got more pro wins than I got pro fights. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is the second time around, but let's make it happen. You know,
Stylistically, what do you think of this one?
stylistically, I think it's a fan's favorite. You know what I'm saying? Two quote unquote strikers. Don't get me wrong. I got some takedowns up my sleeve in my bag, and I don't seen Cam in his previous fights. You know, he got takedowns in there, but I definitely think y'all gonna see a nice violent chess match. To be honest, I don't think Cam just in there swinging. I think he's a thinker. I know I'm a thinker. I know I'm trying to break you down intellectually as well as physically. So it's gonna be a fan's favorite.
In this one, obviously he represents a really big gym over City Kickboxing over Auckland, New Zealand. He's going to have Eugene Behrman in the corner. Is it pretty cool? You get to take on a guy that's from the same gym as like Israel Adesanya. It's worked with Volkanovski, Jack Della, and all these other killers.
I mean, it's straight. It's cool. I mean, he a man like I'm a man. So like I know he coming from big gym. He got good coaches. I'm coming from what they say smaller gyms. I have fantastic coaches, but at the end of the day, my coaches can't fight for me. His coaches can't fight for him. His partners can't fight for him. My partners can't fight for me. So it's mano y mano, me versus him. So it's cool, I guess, but that ain't something I really focus on too much.
When you look at the Dana White Contender Series, I think it's the most unique show in the world. It's the perfect job interview. You go in there, there's no walkout music. I mean, there's not many people in the place watching it. It's a very, I guess you say, intimate type of environment. I love it. You can hear the corners, you can hear the coaches, you can hear them speaking the spots and giving advice. Do you like this type of atmosphere?
Yeah, man, I've been already practicing in my head, walking out with no music. I think it adds to the intensity. I think it's pretty cool. It's I won't say it's a weeding out system, but it almost is like, how do you do under that type of pressure? Everybody expect to hear the crowd. Everybody expect to hear your music playing and stuff like that. What happens when it's just that silence and you walking out there and you might hear your heartbeat? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you do under that type of pressure?
Absolutely. Have you envisioned that potential moment after the fight, you four other winners beside you, Dana White saying, "Hey kid, come over here, get your contract"?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't envision myself after the fight just locking eyes with Dana, just ready for him to either gonna be on his feet or he can be right there sitting like he normally do and clapping and saying, "Yeah." That's what I envision. I envision that chair and just like you said, sitting there. I'm like, all right, try not to look dumb as he talking to you. Don't be right there like, you know what I'm saying? Just really like soaking in. That'll be the time to enjoy the moment. For me, it's a whole lot of business in me going in and get it done. But once I'm in that chair, that winner's chair, I feel like that's when I can really enjoy it, you know?
When you look at some of the really big guys right now in the UFC, one thing they have in common is obviously they're popular, and they're popular because, the way they fight. They're going for the finish. They have an entertaining style. They also have a personality to them. You're a guy that kind of checks all these boxes for me. I mean, you go out there, you put on a show, you look for the finish. You have a very likable personality. You're a naturally funny guy. You just be you. Do you think this is going to help you? If you can get a win on the show, it's going to help you really propel yourself in the UFC.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think so. I think people will definitely gravitate towards who I am. At the end of the day, I may or may not become a star, but I will always be a stand-up guy. That's what I will try to be. That's what I'll try to emulate. And where I fall short, I hold myself accountable to learn from those shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? But the stardom may come. It may or may not. People may like me. They may not like me. I don't care. But I'll be a stand-up guy. You're gonna respect me. You're probably gonna wish your kids like me. You're probably gonna wish your daughter find a man like me, or your son grow up to be like me. You know what I'm saying? Stand-up character.
Absolutely. Right when you look at the southeastern United States right now, we're starting to see some guys get in the UFC from that area. You're looking at Weston Wilson. He's getting ready to make his return to the UFC. Obviously, Wonder Boy's been doing it for a long time. You got guys like Cody Durden and Cody Brundage. You got Malcolm Wellmaker becoming a big star right now. Is it pretty cool for you that you can potentially add your name to the list of these dudes and represent South Carolina and the rest of the Southeast in the sport?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm trying to go in Carolina, boy, putting on for the Carolinas, Charleston, South Carolina for sure, but then also North Carolina been showing me so much love. So I just want to put on for both of them. You know what I'm saying? I told you in the last interview, the South got something to say, and we ain't done talking yet, bro. So I do take pride in it, especially for Charleston, especially for Columbia. I take so much pride in it.
When you made your professional debut, 2023 December, Conflict MMA over in Charleston, someone told you that less than 2 years you'd be fighting the Contender Series, what would you have told them?
I said that makes sense. I said I know my grind and I'm around the right people. By the grace of God, you know what I'm saying? Like I would say that makes sense. I would say I fully believe you, and you know what? Let me get back to work so I can get there. You know. I think I told you that. I don't know if I got to go back and look at that interview, but you was like, "What's next?" I said, "Man, we back to the lab," and that's just really what it's been like, staying in the lab, learning from every outing, and going back in it with an intention. Don't just get back in here to get reps in or to say, "No, I came in to train." No, I'm intentional training. That's the way we move.
Absolutely. Obviously to be a professional fighter, I mean, you have to have the skills. You have to have the striking, you have the jiu-jitsu, the wrestling, you have to be well-rounded, complete, all that. But I think a component that does not get talked about enough is the mental game of it. I feel like the mentality, the confidence, the mental side of fighting is huge. You are very naturally confident. Have you always had this ability?
To certain degrees, yes, and to certain degrees, absolutely not. Certain things I was very confident in, like I guess quick little side story is very funny. My pops told me at a young age that the man make the clothes don't make the man. And so from that point, I wasn't too concerned about matching. I just had to make sure like I was putting it on. You know what I'm saying? Like so, and from there, it's just certain elements. I view myself differently, and I notice I view myself differently because when you hear people talk about themselves, I said I would never talk about myself like that. But in other aspects, sometimes it's like, dang, can I really do this? Like it's been many times along this journey, I've had to elevate my mindset into a higher level of belief because I see that it was lacking. And if I were to continue in that, this training would be in vain. If you don't believe in yourself, bro, your training, it's only gonna take you but so far, you know. So
Absolutely. For you, what would it mean to fight in the UFC?
like I said before, it'd be what I already expected. It'd be what I already saw coming. Um, to fight in the UFC would just be another step. That's not the finish line. Like this contender series, this is a big step. This would be a big checkbox. It'd be something, like I said, I'm very grateful for. But this is not the finish line. I appreciate all the support. Everybody telling me congrats, and I say it's weird. And I'm trying to sound no cliche, but it's like I just feel like I ain't even really done nothing yet. You feel me? I ain't even. I just signed a contract. I still got way more to do. You know.
Absolutely. What's the reactions been like, since it's become public, since it's been posted out all over social media? What has the reactions been like from people?
I kid you not, it's been so much from what I've seen and heard, so much love. Like it's been so much love on social media. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, the love on social media is so much that it's been overwhelming. Like no offense to nobody, I've stopped checking my messages. I've stopped checking my notifications. It's just been a lot, but it's been a lot of love. Um, I was sitting there, I was talking with my coach about something in the gym, and this dude came up and he kind of saw like what I was signing, and he just looked at me like, "No way." I was like, "Yeah, brother, contender series, we there." And so it's like it's just really cool to see like not only my hard work paying off, but people in the gym they seeing it like, oh snap, he there now. Like he at least about to get this opportunity. And I think that's what I really like. Like of course I love it for myself, but I like them to see like, hey, this is right next to you. So I want you to see that you can do it too. So I'm gonna go handle mine, but I want you to see how this apply to you as well. So it's been so much love.
Absolutely. Obviously we've talked about, you're going to be having this opportunity less than 2 years of becoming a pro, but have you kind of felt like in the gym, are you becoming one of those guys? Are you looked as to maybe as a veteran? Like are some of the younger pros, amateurs, are they now coming to you for advice?
I say this like my home gym in TNT, yeah, for sure. I'm definitely considered a vet in that lane, and just being the first pro out of that gym since my coach, yeah, I'm definitely a vet over there. I come up here to Gym O. I'm just man, I'm a cub amongst lions. You feel me? I'm just sorry that ain't make no sense. I guess a cub amongst bigger bears or whatever. Like, what is a baby lion called? That's irrelevant. But anyway, like yeah, bro. So I'm just amongst the they people come to me for like certain questions here when we come to striking, or they just want to see like how I go about organizing my camp. They see me as very disciplined, so they're like, oh, what's your training look like? But I'm asking more questions than anyone. You feel me? I got so much to learn from them dudes up here, man. It's just it's a lot, and I'm thankful.
The journey of a professional fighter, I mean, is absolutely crazy. It's a roller coaster. There's highs, there's lows. One thing I love about mixed martial arts, man, it invokes disciplines. It's really an art. I mean, there's really good people that are involved with this sport. I've had people tell me when they first started getting MMA, their life was a mess. They were going a bad path. They had a dark path, and they were going nowhere. MMA provided discipline, guidance, to turn them around, turn them to the person they are today. For you, how have you learned and evolved through being in mixed martial arts?
True. I think kind of what I said last time, man. I think this is the biggest way I see it, so I'm gonna say it again. Like martial arts has helped me to, I guess, personify my internal growth, my internal goals. You know what I'm saying? I've been really seeking to just do more for people, to really love others, to really extend the love of God to others. And martial arts has helped me to do that. Not only the platform that it's providing, but just the genuine relationships I'm building. Like I think it's just cool. Like, they say martial arts helped people talk about how martial arts help them. I just want to use martial arts to help others. You know what I'm saying? I've firmly, I could have been a lawyer or a doctor. I just choose to do this. You know what I'm saying? So this will be the avenue in which I show this love. You know?
What's the impact or statement you want to leave on this sport?
Oh man, the impact of statement is that I guess that's the statement, man. There's more to it than the glitz and the glam. You know what I'm saying? It's really about who you are. I think that's the biggest thing, and I don't want to downplay nobody or disrespect nobody. I just want to call it for what it is. You see people who got that fame, that fortune, that glitz and that glam, and you also see them in the news like every other month or something like that. It's more about who you are, bro. It's more that's really what matters. So, that limelight, it's gonna shine on you. It's gonna expose you. So like, who do you really want to be? And I think that's the biggest thing out of it all. Like, I can be a champion, that's fine, but I'm not trying to be no scumbag champ, or I'm not trying to be no shady champion. I want, like I said before, I want to be a stand-up guy. You know?
Absolutely. We talked about that. You've already been in Las Vegas earlier this year. You did all the media stuff. You got to see the PI. When you were able to arrive at the airport, maybe the iPad with your name on it, chauffeur comes and gets you. Was that all a surreal experience?
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm not even gonna front. I'm not gonna flex, bro. I sit there, the man standing there with the iPad. You see the red background, that UFC Brandon Holmes. I'm like, oh snap. He opened, you know what I'm saying? Them boys open up the trunk of it, take your bags, put you in there. You got two fresh little water bottles waiting on you. Like, man, what? So it was just real cool. Just even at the hotel we was in, they got the event at the Apex today. So as I'm walking around the hotel, I'm seeing some of the fighters. I'm just like, stay focused. I'm not trying to get starstruck, but it was cool to like see them boys and just see like, oh snap, this is where we are. So it was cool.
Absolutely. Last time I had you on here, we were talking about some of the big fights coming up and everything. But when you're looking at some of those 85ers, you mentioned on the Contender series before we even started doing this interview that there's a bunch of 185ers. The first week they got like 3 185 matchups on it. You're on the second week. When you're looking at some other guys on the Contender, some of the 185ers in the UFC, are you now looking at these guys as potential opponents?
So Carlo, I think that was my problem for a minute. Like I always was. And so like what would happen is I see certain things that 85 is on, and I'd be like, oh man, I need to change my training this way, change my training this way. And it's like, bro, chill. I think I'm too focused. At that time I was too focused on other people. It's like just develop my game. And when I focus on them, when we sign that contract. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got weapons, everybody got skill. I'm not gonna adjust my game just based off the next man that I see. No, I'm gonna focus on me. And when I see them, I see them. So like potential opponents, yeah, they are potential opponents, but they're not opponents. They're not like on my mental radar, taking my mental capacity until we really sign in that contract. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned already before in this interview that you could have done many things. You could have been a doctor, you could have been a lawyer. You wanted to be a professional fighter. Why did you choose? Why, of all the things you can do in this world, is this the path that we want to go down?
To be honest, I think it just gives me that mix that I want. Like it gives me that mix of it still being a challenge, um, but it's also helping me to stay in a certain physical level. Like I think that's the biggest thing. I think the physical for me is very important. I want to be able to when I think of longevity, I want to be able to move a certain way at a certain age. So I think this helps me. Some people may say otherwise because I'm sitting there getting hit, but whatever, But then also it gives me that there's a whole lot of like there's an intellectual side to this. You know what I'm saying? You really have to think about what you're doing. There's an emotional control side to this. So I'm not just walking around ready to like punch someone all day. It's like, no, bro. So I just think it gives me that great mix of the challenge that I was looking for, but both internally and externally.
Absolutely. All right, Brandon, last question for you, my friend. So we're not too far away, but in a perfect world, what is the outcome August 19th when you fight the Dana White Contender Series against Cam Rowston?
Man, perfect world. I go in there, we get it done in one round. I look at Dana, he nodding his head, he clapping. I go sit in that chair, wait for the rest of the fights. When he get to my name, he say, "Yo, come get your contract." Perfect world.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, Brandon, dude, I wish nothing but the best. Always awesome catching up with you. It's kind of crazy. I remember like a year and a half ago, I talked with you, Charleston, South Carolina, before your professional debut against David Richardson. Here you are, went to Fury after that, and CFFC in between there. Just been killing it, man. Good things happen to good people. You're getting your opportunity here, and I wish you nothing but the best, brother.
I appreciate you, Carlo. Hey, same for you, my boy. We're growing together, right?
Absolutely. Let's go. That's it for us tonight. I'm Carl Prusa. He is 843 Breezy. He is Mr. Brandon Holmes. Watch him August 19th. Take that Cam Rowston Dana White Contender Series. Take care, fight fans.